Alright, we're back in the shop today. Got a bunch of company here. Eventually everybody will be on camera, but we're putting together a single cylinder for Mark. Decided to go ahead and film it. Nothing real special. I already got the cam set in. Mark's putting the cam pins in right now. This is what actually holds the cam in on these more of a performance motor than anything else. Yeah, we'll get some more footage here whenever we get this tightened down and start putting the crank in.
Somehow I'd mark it.
We got the crank put in. Well, we got the cam put in first. Got it set. Now we got the crank put in. Next thing we're going to do is drop the piston connecting rod in, and we will be happy campers on this one. So bring you back when we're doing that one. All right. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but we're gonna put new bearings in here. This little thing got a little mark right in here. But we gotta get the oil hole and everything put on the new bearings and stuff. So we'll bring you back. Okay, in this clip here, you're gonna see Mark putting a radius on the edges of the bearings because they're wide enough that the edge of the crank has a rounded spot there, and they'll make a lot of drag and put too much load on the bearing and stuff in this. So the air compressor was running while he was doing this, so that's why I'm gonna do a little voiceover here, and you'll see Junior there giving him a hand, holding the light and stuff. And so it looks good then?
Oh, yeah.
Alright. What do you think? So good?
Awesome. It's great to be working in the garage on something. We need to get these back loose. Oh, what'd you do there?
Out here working hard in the shop, right?
Oh yeah.
Alright. Some of you guys may not be familiar with the old K series Kohler engines. Like I said, this is a 16 horse block. We're going to do a bore comparison. This block here, this is the 16 that we're building. This is my hand. I don't know if you guys can catch that or not. How big that is. I can almost get my hand down in there flat. Alright, we're going to go over here. Sorry for the banging. We're going to go over here. This is my 16 or my 12 horse that I tore apart in a previous video. Okay, I can't get, but it stops before I even get my hand all the way down in. So that's pretty good size, significant size difference in from a 12 to a 16. But like I said, this is going to be a modified motor, slightly modified for pulling purposes. But yeah, that's I can get my hand down in there, so it's a good almost inch bigger probably bore. I'm not gonna put a tape measure across there because that's kind of proprietary information. Sorry. If you're really interested, find me on Instagram or Facebook, and I may give you some information on it, but I won't put it out on a video because it is Marks motor. So we'll bring you back when we're doing some more work on it. Alright, it's been a couple days. I was waiting on these gaskets here. These are not only gaskets, they're shims to set the end plate on the crankshaft when you put the closure plate on. So that's what we're going to do now. Let's show you guys how to do this. This is how I do it. There's probably multiple ways of doing it. These are just line-up pins that I've had for years. They're just 3/8 bolts cut off, little slot cut in the end of them for a screwdriver. But take the closure plate, put it on here, put it on these shim, on this there, get it back in there, take 2 bolts, run them in. I use my little impact just to snug them. Take these out. I guess I live out in the country. That's a tractor going by. Take the other 2 bolts, put in here. I can get them started. These get torqued on this motor to 35 foot-pounds. So alright, now the shop manual on these says that the end plate on them is supposed to be between 20 thousandths and 3 thousandths. Myself, my opinion, that's a fairly large gap, I guess you'd say, span of what the torque is supposed to be. So I like to go about 13 thousandths, especially on these motors. 10 to 13 in between those two. They just let them move a little easier, a little freer rolling. Let me find my 13 thousandths here. I got a 12 and a 13. I'll move the camera here and show you guys what I'm doing here in just a second. I just want to check it real quick and see. Thirteen's just a hair tight. .12 slips in there real nice. So, all right, I'll move the camera around here and get you guys a better shot of this. Alright, this is the inside of the motor. Where we're setting our gap at is right in here. This is the race for the bearing. This is the edge of the crank, end of the crank. There's a little gap right in there. and I'll show you what I'm talking about here. When you check the end play on these, stick that right in there, right like that. I go around, try both sides, make sure, you know, and that's right at 12 thousandths, and we're going to go with that. You can use a dial indicator on the end of the crank. That's how I do my V-twins, but on these K-series Kohlers, this is the easiest to do. So got that all set, it's all torqued. Next thing is we'll drop the piston connecting rod in and get it torqued on, and then we will come back and I'll show you how to degree in the cam. Alright, I got my piston ring connect compressor put on the piston, got it set, got assembly lube all around the skirt and everything. Put some assembly lube on the rod bearing there. Make sure that the crank is facing down so that you don't contact it. Set that in there. Make sure everything's all square there. And I use the butt end of my dead blow hammer to there she is. She's in. Bring her up. Now I'll flip it over on its side here again, and I'll put the rod bearing cap on. We'll get you in position for y'all can see that. Alright, got that all in there. Got some assembly lube all put on there. If you notice on these rods here, these are billet aftermarkets. One side's thicker, one side's thinner, so you don't have to worry about having your rod cap wrong. So we're going to put that on there. Oh, drop one of the bolts. Get a couple of these bolts started in here. There's that one. Now these get tightened to 18 foot-pounds, which you'll have to do the math real quick on the conversion to inch-pounds, because my torque wrench, my foot-pound torque wrench doesn't go down to 18. It goes down to 20. So I'll get that figured out and bring you back, and we'll get her torqued. Alright, got this all turned here a little bit. By the way, 18 foot-pounds is 216 inch-pounds. So I get in here and I got my torque wrench all set. There's that one. Always go crossways on these. It's like anything else when you're tightening them down. There's that one. There's that one. There's that one. There's that one again. And always lubricate the threads on these bolts. Alright. Let's see if she's free spinning. Oh yeah. Yep. She spins free alright. Alright. Well, that's about it for right this second. Next is we're going to degree in the cam, or make sure the degree in the cam set should be set, but we'll double check that and bring you back. Do it. Alright, we're degreeing the cam in on this K series. Didn't set up, I didn't video the setting up of the degree wheel, but basically all you do is you get it set to top dead center, get your dial indicator set on your intake valve, and whatever your cam card reads, the valve lift at a certain degree. This one happens to be set at 50 thousandths lift at 29 degrees before top dead center. You just get everything adjusted in that way. This has an adjustable cam gear on it. You rotate the gear, hold the cam and rotate the gear until you get the two to match, and that's all there is to it. It's a lot harder than what it sounds, but it's doable. So we'll bring you back when we get to the next step.
Picture quality.
Alright, last night I got all the head studs put in, one of the hold downs. I got to put the other head hold down on. Closure plate and everything's on. Everything's all set. So now I'm going to, like I said, put the other head hold down on, put the head on it, and hopefully in a little bit get this thing finished up.
Load up.
Alright, motor's all together now. We got the flywheel put on, got the counterbalance put on, heads on, straps on, oil dipstick, cam cover, valve cover, points are on, everything's set. The next big thing is to fix the frame of the tractor, and we will
Reinforce it.
drop it down in, put the carburetor on, put some fuel to it, and see if it'll fire.